Question number 9 is a percent problem. We're looking at a school district. 1546 students missed school due to illness. This represents 15.3% of the total enrollment. What is the total enrollment? So we can set up part over whole. Part of the total equals a decimal. You may have seen this as percent over 100. Let's go with the decimal and see what happens. You can set this as setting it up as a proportion or just looking at the definition. So these are numbers. These are illness, students due to illness, and this is total number of students. What are we looking for? We're actually looking for the total enrollment. So we do not know the denominator, but we do know how many students were out due to illness. We also know the percentage that is, 15.3%. We take 15.3%, converting it to a decimal, you could think divided by 100, drop the percent sign. We're really dividing it by 1. 100% is 1. That's why the percent signs drop out. And that's why you actually divide by 100. You get 0.153. So this equals 0.153. In order to solve for this, you do have to think of a proportion. Now, if you did percent over whole, you would have ended up with 1546 over x equals 15.3 over 100. You would be in the same place, trust me. So we have 0.153. X equals 1546. We're solving for x. Divide by what we're multiplying by. Undo multiplication using division. Divide by 0.153 on both sides. On the left, we end up with x. And when we do this division, of course, on the calculator, we get 10,105. Now, what is 10,105? The total number of students. Sorry about that. Is 10,105. So there are 10,105 students. Of those students, 1546 are sick or missed school due to illness, and that represents 15.3%. That makes sense. So let's move on to question number 10. Cindy Hine invested $28,000 at some at 3% and some at 5%. She earned $12.20 interest the first year. So we're only looking at 1 year. Looks like she is earning some at 3% and some at 5% for a total. So the total interest that she's, let's go back to I equals PRT. In our case, T equals 1. So this actually simplifies to I equals principal times the rate. So we're going to need an amount earned. We don't know each one, but we do know the total. The total amount she earned was $12.20. Okay, we do not know the principal amount she earned for each income. But we do know the total. Okay, and we do know the rate. As a decimal, of course. 3% rate and the 5% rate. So what is this $12.20? How much did she earn? Well, she invested part of her money at 3%, and the other part, or the remainder, or the leftover, at 5%. So this is interest at 3%, let's just call it that, and interest at 5% equals $12.20. Well, I do know I do know what the interest at 3% is. So the 1220 is the interest at 3% plus the interest she earned at 5%, not the rates, the amount earned. So 1220, what is the interest that she earned at 3%? Oh, that is just 0.03x. I don't know how much she earned. She invested at 3%, but I do know the total is $28,000. At 5%, she invested, 0.05. She invested $28,000 minus x. This is just an equation with one variable. And we need to solve it. Simplify both sides. Ooh, you know, I'm not liking something. What I'm not liking is that we have decimals. Let's just see if we can deal with it for now. To simplify this part, we distribute. 0.05 times 28,000 is 1,400 minus 0.05x. Okay, not that bad. When we look at these two, we subtract the 2, we get negative 0.02x plus 1,400 equals 1220. Ooh, that makes me scared because I'm not sure if I'm going to get a negative answer. There's no way I can get a negative answer. I'm trying to solve for x, which is the amount she invested, amount of principal that she invested at 3%. Okay, let's see what happens here. 1,400, subtract 1,400 from each side. I can't simplify that side anymore, so I'm actually going to. I end up being okay because this number, since this is larger, is negative, and I end up with negative 180. Now I solve for x, divide by negative 0.02, divide by negative 0.02. A negative divided by a negative is positive. So when I do this, I end up with x equals 9,000. Well, if x equals 9,000, then we know that 9,000 was invested at 3%, and how much, I need to do a little math, 28, the amount invested at 5,000 is 28,000 minus 9,000. When I do that, I get 19,000. And 19,000 was invested at 5%. Okay, so let's do a little check here. Let's check this. So I think it's 9,000 and 19,000. So let's check. Probably should be done at the bottom, but I ran out of room. 0.03 times 9,000 plus 0.05, 5% interest on 19,000. And I need to make sure that's going to equal my 1220. When I do this, I get 270. 5.05 times that, or 5% of 19,000 is 950. Does that equal 1220? Don't assume that it equals. Actually, add them up. Yes, it does. 1220 equals 1220. So I'm good. So check. I'm sure that this is the correct answer. And that's how you do problem number 10. And previously we did problem number 9.